Hi, greetings to all and welcome for the session. Today we will be talking about smart cities in Metaverse along with AI. We'll just start the session and so we welcome for the session again. And today we'll be talking about Metaverse um, in smart cities along with AI. So firstly, let's look at what is Metaverse and how it's look alike. So Metaverse is basically a combination of various components which deals with certain devices in the form of virtual reality, AR, or maybe some phone or some handheld device, with user can connect to the metaverse, which is basically like a new immersive experience, which I would say is slightly different from the 3D or the virtual world, where itself user can play a role of digital avatar there. And there are a couple of technologies which user can or maybe system can use to fulfill the requirement of the metaverse. It's like NLP, machine learning, blockchain, networking, wireless, 5G, 6G, interface, or digital twin. So coming to that, if we divide these components majorly into three categories: hardware, software, and the content. So hardware, definitely the head-mounted devices or maybe handheld devices, which include certain sensors, which include certain motion devices, and along with the software, which deals recognition, rendering the content in terms of audio, video, text, and along with the object scene recognition. So basically, it's a combination of the various software components. And when you look for the content, so content this could be for a certain story, certain scenario, the shopping, or maybe buying or the banking experience, or maybe some tournament or say some cricket event, etc. So there are a number of applications for the content based. Moving for the next slide. So when we look for the business, so Metaverse is a growing business. So as per 2024, there's a prediction of $800 billion business. So it's like 13.1% growth per year. And it's also predicted that AR/VR devices shipment would increase to 76 million by 2025. So overall, we see a annual growth in not only India, across the globe also. So it indicates that lots of research, lots of publications, lots of startups, companies are working for the metaverse-based solution from the various angles. Now, if we look this example of two images, so there's a one image on the top side looks like some gallery image, and the bottom side looks like some cafeteria or so. So it if it is looked at, it's quite same experience in the metaverse, these two, but these two images carry the certain difference. So I'll just give a thought. Maybe just you can have a thought that what is exactly difference between these two images. So basically, these two images have the big difference that the lower image does not carry the lower portion of the user. However, upper image has the upper portion as well as the lower portion of the digital avatar. The reason being that for such kind of difference, that the lower image indicates that there had not been simulation for the lower body movement. For example, the legs movement are not considered for such kind of digital avatar. So it totally depends type of the application. But a couple of weeks back, there was also news that maybe in future such kind of difference may not be there. So every user, every character avatar will be with the lower portion also, because it basically adds slightly the more complexity in the data processing or maybe the sensing data processing to simulate such environment. But considering the lots of innovation, research, and the progress for such kind of simulation for lower body portion, that's also quite possible and feasible in today's world. So now if you look for the framework, so you might have also heard lots of news about the security and data issue or the user privacy. But such kind of framework is one of the research for example. It deals with a blockchain-based IoT framework with ML to enhance security and the privacy. So where access layer gives certain application-based access to the user by having the different, I would say, devices in terms of, as I said about the IoT-based system layer, there's a smartphone, watch, TV, camera, or maybe some head-mounted devices that are basically connected in the real time with the data analytics space with the cloud system, where the pre-processing of the data takes place along with the machine learning model. So based on the type of requirement of the user, the right content is played to the right user. So that is the advantage, and it's like a secure in terms of blockchain base, so where one can go through desired data and application depending on the requirement. Now, if we look for the applications, so Metaverse is considering lots of applications. So social gathering, shopping, meeting are very, I would say, coming up any trending, I would say, the domains for the Metaverse where user can interact with the friends, relatives, family, in the social gathering. Shopping is a more enhanced experience where user can have the more, I would say, immersive enhanced experience where the more actual reality about the object that he's going to purchase. Meeting is going to be a more realistic in terms of sitting remotely. So giving the more, I would say, user-friendly, more attractive version. Now the application comes towards, I would say, not only the classroom, online meetings, as well as for avatars in terms of gaming. So entertainment, virtual advertising, education, healthcare, public services, tourism, smart manufacturing, and recruitment. So today, when we will talk about the public services or the smart city concept in the later slides. So currently, entertainment gaming has been developed by the couple of platforms, Block, Roblox, Sandbox, and Naka. Social interaction also on the Hyperverse, Decentraland, Hero, and Atlas. These are the couple of platforms, depending on the type of applications. Still, we are talking about the metaverse, so still it carries certain pros and cons. So it's like a new business opportunity, new research opportunity. It's a branding opportunity for the companies and the various businesses. It improves the experience for the gaming, learning, education, and it also basically interacts and connect the people, just reducing the physical distance, I would say. And it has certain a kind of effective about it, just like a privacy and security and addiction. Sometimes it may create some mental health issue or maybe cybercrime or the virtual bullying. So, but every technology comes, but it also comes with the solutions also. Whenever there is a problem, a particular problem in a particular technology. So I would say it's not just limited about the privacy or security issue. Definitely, by the time when the technology grows, the solutions and the research should be there to overcome such kind of cons with the issues in the technology. Now we're moving towards the metaverse and the smart cities. So in the smart cities, it's like a concept where the in city basically we use multiple different applications, or I would say different facilities for a person. So I just planned a couple of facilities on this. So healthcare is one of the I would say requirement for a common person inside a smart city. So we are just going to talk about it, how the smart city will be impacted or maybe how enriched with the metaverse and AI healthcare base. So once we look it out that whether the hospital concept is new or somebody has really developed or come up with this. So yes, world's first virtual hospital in metaverse has been announced. That's basically by the UAE Combi Group. So they have come up with the concept of kind of world's first virtual hospital in the metaverse that has been planned. And it also has been considered in India also as one of the proposal by the Yashoda Hospital groups in Hyderabad. So such kind of a hospital would have the various facility. For example, people or the user or the patient can interact in the metaverse. They can wait, they can look it out, what are their timings for the meeting with the doctor, what are the facilities available in the hospital, and how the treatment will go through with the patient. So that kind of thing maybe virtually or the 3D or the virtual environment can be simulated and can be presented to the user. So that is the basic concept for the metaverse-based system. So hospital will be coming up with, I would say, the less interaction in the physical world, which would be like a hygiene, more safe and secure for the people. But such kind of metaverse will be giving an opportunity, saving the time between the doctors and the patient, connecting, and patient would be also getting enriched with the lots of data, medical reports ready, handy with the doctor, just couple of buttons away, so that doctor can visualize the data content immediately once the patient is there. So in this case, when I look for the metaverse-based healthcare applications, so I divide in three different categories: digital twin, medical training, and the telehealth. So digital twin basically deals with the type of diseases or maybe type of disease prediction, analysis, and the recognition, so that it would make easy for the doctor to take a decision. And medical training again, it's also because sometimes the medical students or maybe the doctors who are in the early stage of their career They really need training for the actual or the complicated medical cases. So such kind of metaverse-based simulation would be helping them to giving a more actual environment for treating the patient or maybe a virtual environment. So telehealth again is like a remote patient OPD where the doctor can visualize or maybe diagnoses the disease in a telehealth mode where the data of the reports maybe in a 3D, 2D format, in the visual, textual will be available to the doctor and he can make I would say, the multiple reports analysis and the review at a time and maybe take a decision in a much more effective manner. So digital twin, we will just explain that what is basically a digital twin. So digital twin is basically a kind of simulation environment where the physical, I would say the real world user has been created a digital version or maybe the replica inside the digital world based on his current parameters or more close to the actual one so that one can simulate the treatment over there as it's also shown in the diagram. So we have the physical twin and there's some data which is kept in the repository and there's a pre-processing data and based on the analysis we come up with the similar patients or the similar type of disease and what has been the treatment in the previously, or what may be the pros and cons, or maybe impact for a particular treatments, or maybe because everybody has a different biological structure to treat that patient, depending on the type of his disease strength or the severity and type of treatment is required. So it's easy for doctor to analyze quite quickly. Being, I think, the medical expert AI cannot replace the medical doctor or AI expert. The only thing is it can make easy for doctor to take a decision in a much more effective manner while the data is readily available in front of him. However, doctor has to take the decision. Even AI cannot replace the doctor. So basically, it's just kind of creating an environment where the user or the patient has been created with a digital replica or digital twin inside the digital world. So where the multiple user in trial or maybe the treatment trial can be considered in the simulation, and the doctor can look it out what is the effectiveness of the solution and may be ready for the I would say such kind of treatment solution. So it's just another example is showing about the metaverse healthcare application with the digital twin. So we have the data, we have the real world user. We have to simulate it out and look it out. Okay, what are the various prediction or the analysis in this real world versus digital version, so that kind of it will be easy for doctor to take a decision and maybe suggest the treatment to the user. This is another representation which I thought to put it in front of you to make it more simplicity about the digital twin concept. So in this, let's say there's a one patient there, and we create the multiple replica of the patient in terms of, I would say, the digital version, and we apply the various treatments on the possibility of the treatment, or maybe if this treatment applies, so what's the severity of growing this disease, or maybe decaying or growing, kind of multiple permutation combination that we can try and maybe doctor can look it out what is the best, and accordingly he can select the best case for the user and maybe suggest for the treatment at the D stage. So now we will be just looking at out what are the potential companies and maybe startups who are working for, I would say, healthcare in the metaverse, which would enrich our smart city experience. So telehealth side is like a healthline in the third eye. Training and surgery side, Global Health Academy, Acuvane, HLE, also VR, Fisheria Surgical, Cosmetics, Digital Twin side, Microsoft, Vitronomy, Siemens, Twin Health, Babylon, and Learn are the companies who are trying to enrich the experience of the metaverse healthcare, which are building a new, I would say, smart city environment, making more connected digitally, virtually, our users or maybe our citizens inside the smart city. Now, if you look at the banking side, so banking is also another sector which smart cities basically would be enriched in the metaverse environment. So here, most of the applications will be running in the metaverse environment. So JP Morgan is the world's first bank who has come up with the metaverse, where it's like a virtual launch has been created. If there is some new user or there's some banking customer comes, so it has to be taken through the various as a launch, as a set up an environment to show the various facilities, various offers, various services which bank can provide. And JP Morgan has announced it's the first time in the world, and they are ready with kind of such an environment. Maybe you guys can also look it out on the YouTube for this experience at how the JP Morgan Metaverse banking lookalike for the launch, the waiting launch for the customer. Another banking example is in like a South Korea base. So what they have done in this bank, the KB, they've installed the VR setup in the physical world as a one of the kiosk, or maybe I would say kind of setup there, so where the user can come and just have the virtual experience. So normally like a decades back when we had in India to have the ATM setup, we learn and teach each other, understand and educate each other. So the similar environment they have set up it out so that one can browse it out various applications in the metaverse which can be used for the user to get it trained and experience. So once they are ready, the bank will be launching such kind of metaverse banking solutions that user can remotely access the various applications for the service. So South Korea back again, KB has come up with a test bed and they provide the head-mounted VR devices. It's like a simple interaction. YouTube video was also there if you want to just have a look it out. They also provide the VIP launch to other clients for the various profiles, investment portfolio, and such kind of maybe a customer they can browse the various applications as per their the personalized experience or the personalized offer, and they can also visit to the virtual branches. It can also be used for the training employees of the banking also, as well as for the customers. So it's like a multiple applications. By the time it will grow more, but it is just a start for the smart cities world. So overall, if I look for the banking side, so it's creating the new environment for the, or even the new business dimension in the banking side, which virtual experience for the customer. So it's like a cash withdrawing or virtual ATM experience, the different branch shops experience, sponsorship. You would see, I think, the lots of new things in the metaverse, virtual events. You would see some digital currency and kind of the different environment for the verification for buying or selling the things in the metaverse. So it's all together bringing the new market, new research for all of us in a metaverse world. So in the entertainment side, so it's also the different dimension and for the, I would say the research as well as for the smart city. And in this case, it's like Indian side, we look at there mainly is a person who has come up with a valuable landing metaverse. So it's like a different metaverse landing experience. So if you see the video, he is playing some songs over there in the virtual land, and it's also the metaverse, and it has been reported as one of the first Indian to acquire the land in the metaverse. So it's like a virtual tour for the experiencing of the singing or the songs over there. So metaverse again in the entertainment side because it's also another the different experience for the smart city users. So overall, it was the plan for the today's session. You can also watch my more videos on the YouTube channel called Sachin Man of AI, and just browse some more content over there. And today I planned for this session, and very much thankful for all of you for being here, for listening, and just viewing this content. And special thanks to all of you, and special thanks to the team who is all over here to make it possible. Lots of thanks and goodbye. Thank you.